Welcome back to another video. My name is Danny, and I talk about Amazon KDP and just simplifying the process. Now, in this video, I'm going to be talking about stop creating AI books, as a lot of people will tell you to use AI for your books, but they won't tell you about the consequences. Yes, you can actually make a lot of money using AI in the right way, but you can also get your account banned if you're doing these types of dangerous things. So first off, I do have to say that Amazon does actually allow AI content. So it is one of the questions I most often get asked. But if you go onto Amazon and just simply read the content guidelines, then it does say that we require you to inform us of AI generated content, text, images, or translation when you publish a new book or you make edits to republish an existing book through Amazon KDP. So they make the distinction between AI generated and AI assisted. So basically, AI generated is text, images, or translations created by an AI based tool. And then AI assisted is where you create the content yourself and you use an AI tool to just edit, refine, error check, or just improve that content. So that's the difference between the two. But Amazon clearly does allow AI content. However, it is your responsibility to verify the AI generated content or AI assisted content that you have created. If it's AI generated, then you need to make sure that you are disclosing that when uploading a book. So the first thing that you need to stop doing if you are using AI content is to stop illegal or infringing content. Now, Amazon does have a section on this just here, and it does state that we take violations and laws and proprietary rights very seriously. It is the responsibility of the author, publishers, and selling partners to ensure their content doesn't violate laws or copyright, trademark, brand, privacy, publicity, or other rights. So you really need to be careful around the content you are creating, making sure that it's not about a particular person infringing on anybody's copyright or trademark. Now, one of the things that is really rife on Amazon at the moment is these Barbara O'Neill books. If you don't know who Barbara O'Neill is, then she's a very popular alternative and natural remedies promoter. So a lot of people are trying to cash in on that popularity and create books around her and her teachings. And this is something I would really avoid doing, as you are not Barbara O'Neill, so you are infringing on her rights. And you can see this particular book here that was created in September. It only has 2 reviews, but only 3 stars. So that already tells you a lot about it. And what a lot of these type of writers will do is they'll go into a tool such as ChatGPT. They'll ask for an outline. And then once they've got the outline, then they'll copy and paste a certain section, let's say chapter 1, back into ChatGPT to get a more descriptive part. But the big issue with this is a lot of the AI content is quite generic. Again, it sounds quite boring as well, and readers can tell the difference as well when they are reading AI content. A lot of people seem to think that customers on Amazon are quite stupid, but what is going to happen is you're just going to get a lot of negative reviews, as we can see with this particular book. If we just scroll down, that one of the customers has mentioned that this isn't Barbara's book. It doesn't even have an index to look up ailments, no pictures of what herbs should look like, an imposter, and is given this self-publisher 1 star. So we can see the negative consequences of doing something like this, putting 0 effort in, just going to ChatGPT and then slapping your book onto Amazon with a Canva created cover is just really going to get you nowhere. You might start off getting good sales for a couple weeks, but once all the negative reviews come in, then Amazon will eventually get your book banned. So again, this is a very dangerous strategy to try. And just taking a look at another book as well, we can see all the negative reviews that this particular book has got. We can see 1 star fake, 1 star this book is counterfeit, 1 star scam, another 1 star here, another 1 star here. So this is a book that's actually been banned as well off Amazon. So if you are trying to do this, you're just eventually going to get banned. The second area that I want to talk about that you need to stop doing if you are using AI content is providing a poor customer experience. Now, in the Amazon guidelines, it does say that books for sale on Amazon should provide a positive customer experience. We do not allow descriptive content meant to mislead customers or that doesn't accurately represent the content of the book. We do also not allow content that's typically disappointing to customers, including the examples provided in the guide to Kindle content quality. We reserve the right to change the categories of a book at any time to ensure a positive customer experience there. So basically, you really need to make sure that you are providing a positive customer experience. If you are doing that, then customers are going to keep on coming back and buying more of your books. However, with AI content, there have been a lot of negative reviews because of this. Now, I'm going to show an example. Now, this is a book on Amazon that is actually doing quite well. It's got a lot of positive reviews, but what I do like to do is actually look at the negative reviews as well so that we can learn from it and create an even better book. So, just by scrolling down, for example, and looking at the A plus content, you can tell a lot of these images are AI generated. We can see a lot of kind of gray in the background and just places where you can tell the image is AI generated. But this is an example of a book that has done really well. However, there are a few things that can be done better. And we can see here with the reviews that, first of all, this customer has stated that the book is very blurry and the images don't look normal. There's also multiple pages with the same images with just slight differences. Seems like cheap work. Another comment here, it says, the lines of the drawings are dark and would be hard to ignore when coloring. So it's another disappointing experience. There's one about the paper quality. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about that with coloring books. But a lot of times with these AI coloring books, people complain about blurry images or dark images. So I'm going to show you some ways around that. But here's just another comment that I want to highlight. A customer saying here that I don't mind AI books. So that's one thing that I have been saying. Customers, they don't mind AI books, but you just have to get the quality right and do it well. So first off, we'll take a look at changing these darker images. So you can easily do this in Canva. Let's just take a look at this image here. You can see there's quite dark kind of gray areas in the background. So all you need to do is just go to edit, and then we can go to adjust. And then if you actually first start off by increasing the brightness, you can take that to 100 and you can see the image start to change. And then we can change the contrast as well. And then we can increase the highlights, we can increase the shadows, the whites as well. And you can see how this image now looks completely different. There's a lot more areas that you can color in now. So just compare this image to the old image below. You can see a customer would be a lot happier with something like this. And this only took less than a minute to do. So this is something that if you want to create the best quality experience that customers will enjoy and they'll be able to color in all the parts of the image, then you need to start doing things like this as well. Now with blurry images, you can also do this within Canva. So let's take a look at this image here. It might look okay on the surface, but when you actually zoom in, you can see how blurry certain areas are. And the issue is that when customers order this book and they want to color in areas, they won't be able to color in certain areas of the image because of the blurriness. Now, the easiest way to get around this is just by upscaling your image, which you can do in Canva as well. So all you need to do is just click on the image and then you can go over to edit, and there's actually an image upscaler within Canva. So you can just click on that, and then you've got the option as well to 2x the image to 4x or 8x. I usually 4x the image. And now if we just zoom in, I've already done this in another image. You can see the difference now that even when we zoom in, it's not as blurry. So you can see the difference between the old image. You can see how blurry that is and the new image now. So this only literally takes a minute to do, but if you are doing these little things, then you are actually providing the customer with a much better experience, and you will end up getting a lot more positive reviews and actually end up being able to build a brand that does have an influence on Amazon. So the third thing that you need to stop doing with AI is copying content. Now, unfortunately, AI does make this very easy to do, and a lot of people will just try to copy a successful book without actually realizing all the work that's gone into it to make the book successful. And an example of this is on Amazon. If we take a look at the food and snacks coloring book, so this was a niche I actually talked about last year, and I was one of the first people to mention this. Now, a creator on TikTok called Megan Miles Art was the first to publish this type of bold and easy coloring book niche. And then we had another successful, probably the biggest coloring book brand, Coco Wyo, then went and copied her idea, and then it kind of blew up from there. A lot of people trying to do the same thing. However, Megan Miles Art is a huge creator on TikTok. If you take a look at her account, it's gotten over 280,000 followers. So she creates a lot of engaging content, and she's taken a long time to build this up. And that's where a lot of her customers have come from. We can see that one of her videos here on the actual book got over 9.5 million views. You also got another video here with 3.9 million views, and she regularly gets a lot of high views on her content. She actually creates the books herself as well, so she goes through the whole process in her videos, and something like this takes time, dedication to create. So you can't just think just because this book is popular and you create something on Amazon that it's going to do well. She's taken a long time to build this up. And also a brand like Coco Wyo, who are one of the biggest coloring book brands, if not the biggest, they are able to copy any idea just because they do have a huge base of followers. Just look at on TikTok, they've got over 468,000 followers. Even on Instagram as well, they also have a huge following of over 663 followers. They're also on several other platforms as well, but because of that huge following, any book that they create is going to get traffic and a lot of sales. However, if we take a look on Amazon, we see that all the self-publishers that have tried to copy this idea, if I was to scroll down all the way to the bottom, there are tons of people, but we can see that the copycats, their books aren't anywhere near the BSRs of Mega Miles Art and Coco Wyo. And as I said before, marketing is a huge part. They've taken the time to really market their books. However, most of these publishers will just throw their book on Amazon and expect it to sell. Their covers aren't really anything different from the two covers that we see in here. There's nothing that makes them stand out. We can see even more copycats here that are running ads, but they're just doing no way near as well as these books here. Now, one of the biggest things you really need to do to stand out is, again, try to differentiate your book from others. Can you create a new, complete different idea? Can you maybe cross niche and come up with something unique? We see one of the self-publishers here doing a kawaii Food Friends book, which is something different, and the BSR isn't doing too bad. We've got an Indian food and snacks coloring book, which is a bit more unique, even though the book is not doing too well. Let's take a look for a few other examples. You've got a 90s food, snacks, and drinks coloring book, which is another unique idea. At least it looks a bit different from the others. And I'm sure if we continue to scroll down, we'll find other ideas. But you really need to make sure that you are coming up with something different from what's on the market. It's important that you are inspired by others' idea, but you don't exactly go and create and copy the same thing, because again, they can just go and report your book. You have to think about, how can I differentiate my book from others? So how can I create a better covers? You can spend time reading through the reviews, read what people say, and then base your book from that. And also just making sure that you are always creating the best possible book. Don't just go and throw up something very similar and maybe charge it lower and just think your book is going to do better. That never ever happens. You really need to make sure you are pushing the boundaries, doing the best with your book, and trying to build something that customers will come back for, and then try to build a brand, because that's how you're going to get those repeated sales. So these are the main things that you really need to stop if you are using AI content. Again, a lot of people are going to tell you to use AI or to do it this way, but you really need to use it responsibly and make sure that you are disclosing it when you are uploading it to Amazon. I want to make sure that you are keeping your account safe. But if you do have any questions, let me know in the comments and I'll be more than happy to help.